My name is Sharon Kaye, and I am delighted to have the opportunity to talk about the work that I do for Royal Fireworks. So I'm a professor at John Carroll University, and I've been teaching there for about 25 years, not quite 25 yet. I teach undergraduates in the Department of Philosophy, often using textbooks that I've written. In addition to ordinary college courses, I also run a philosophy for kids program. And this is where I send undergraduates out into the public schools, oftentimes gifted programs, sometimes inner city, sometimes different locations, in order to teach philosophy to middle schoolers. So I'm kind of like the philosophical grandma, because I teach my undergraduates and then they teach the middle schoolers. So that's been a great program for me. It keeps me really closely connected with middle school mind. And I've been given the opportunity through Royal Fireworks to write for this age group as well. I actually teach 3 different courses for Royal Fireworks. The first is a course that focuses on upper elementary school students. And the theme is justice, faith, and free will. And it's a trilogy of 3 books about some kids who have some adventures, various places, and learn about these concepts and have debates about these concepts. Then I teach a course for the middle school level. It's another trilogy called the Numeral Realm trilogy. Numeral realm being a concept from the history of philosophy. And the course heavily focuses on the history of philosophy. It explores Plato's suggestion that the world we see around us is not as real as we think. Plato's idea was that there is another realm, the numinal realm, that is more real, the realm of abstract ideas. And of course, that was picked up throughout the history of philosophy by Kant and other philosophers. So we explore that through a kind of kid-friendly thought experiment of a virtual reality. So it follows the adventure of a set of kids who get caught up in a virtual reality, and they get to meet some of the great philosophers of all times. Descartes, Hume, Kant, Plato, Aristotle. And the great thing about this trilogy too is that we also look at some great works of art. So we take a look at the School of Athens and some other philosophical works of art that go along with it. And then the third course that I'm going to be teaching for Royal is about American philosophy. And this course is very dear to my heart because it is about our history, the history of this country and the intellectual ideas that have grown up on our soil. And in particular, transcendentalism and pragmatism are the 2 main schools of thought that are explored in this course. I'm writing another trilogy for this course. The first 2 books of the trilogy are done. It's called the Dreamcatcher trilogy, and it's the first book focuses on Emerson and Thoreau, and the second book focuses on William James, and Dewey, John Dewey. So we'll be teaching that for the first time this spring. And one other thing I wanted to add was that I'm going to be offering a couple of workshops as well. Workshops concerning the Lincoln-Douglas debates. So this would be a 3-day workshop where we would meet for 1 hour each day, and we would first learn what the Lincoln-Douglas debates were. And basically it's just a format for discussing controversial ideas. And there's a very strict format to it. We would modify it a bit for our purposes. But to get the idea of tackling a controversial issue with a group of people, taking a side, whether it's playing devil's advocate for a side that you don't necessarily believe in, or whether it's defending a position that you do hold. And then going back and forth with the refutation, the response, and then having the playback at the end where we talk about what went right, talk about different kinds of fallacies that are to be watched out for, and how to do a better job arguing for our positions. So that should be really fun. That'll be a new thing for us. I've done that with my students, of course, in John Carroll. All of this is just a matter of me adapting it for the Royal Fireworks platform. So I wanted to just address any other questions that you might have had here. What are my expectations for students in my course? The way the course goes is that we read a section of the novel, and then I ask the students to write some discussion question, their answers to the discussion questions at home, as homework. And then we discuss these questions together in class. We use that as a basis, as a springboard for our further discussion. And so we talk for about an hour each week. And depending on the group, the discussion can go in many different directions. It's always a lot of fun. And then we do write essays. And this again is modified from what I expect of college students. We have an exposition, introduction, exposition, argument, objection, response. Always trying to get across the idea that there are two sides to the issue, at least two sides to the issue, and that a good philosopher learns how to appreciate the other side as a good opponent, and that the goal is not to win the argument. The goal is to discover the truth. And so whether we're writing essays or debating in the classroom, we thank our opponents for helping us think about the issue more deeply and to come to newer understanding. And maybe we'll change our minds, maybe we won't, but either way, we will be better for it. And so I really enjoy my time with the students. I learn from them just as much as they learn from me. I'm quite sure of that. And they are always bringing new insights to these materials that I've been studying for so long. And so they feed my passion for it, my continued passion for it. That's about it, I guess. So please feel free to send me any questions. Bye-bye.